Say it again.
Yoshivas.
Boom.
So put the picks up on the screen.
Yoshivas.
The Bengals got off to as bad a start as you could. They get Burrow back quickly, and they still lose those two division games. But the division never ran away from them. You like them to win that division.
I do. You see Burrow and the effect that it has on the entire team, especially defensively. I mean, our guy's back. He's starting to making throws. I mean, he's healthy, and the defense is going to be there. There's a little bit of adjustment how they lost both of their safeties, but that's coming around. This team will be there in the end.
Rex, you like Cleveland.
I do like Cleveland. And let's get Deshaun Watson back to go along with the best defense in the National Football League, or arguably right in that conversation. And I think when you do that, Cleveland is right there with any of these teams. By the way, the Bengals got outgained 2-1. Yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been pretty, but they kind of hung around. They hung around more than we thought. I took the Ravens because no one else did, so I figured we needed to get them up on the screen, not pictured, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who continue to win games somehow. So are we sure that the two best teams in the NFC are the Eagles and the 49ers? I mean, should the Detroit Lions be in that conversation, Rex?
100% they should be. And by the way, they play without 3 starters in the back end. That defense gave up 6 points to our guy Baker Mayfield and company. But, yes, they absolutely should be, but I will still take the Niners right now.
How about your guy?
I feel confident saying this. The Detroit Lions are a legit NFC championship contender. Okay, one, they have a guy who's going to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson will be in that conversation. 2, whether you like it or not, Jared Goff is going to be in the MVP conversation. He's playing top 5 quarterback football. Their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, is going to be a head coaching interview next year. Their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, going to be a head coaching candidate next year. This is a football team that can play with anyone.
Absolutely. And Rex, you made the point earlier, the Browns' defense was so tough, they didn't fear the 49ers. This team doesn't fear anybody. The Lions are not going to be afraid of anybody.
No, and that starts from their head coach. But that mentality, his mentality, resonates to the entire football team. And these guys could care less. Look, playing without 3 starters in the back end, okay, playing without their 2 starting guards, they don't care.
Let me say one thing real quickly at the end. You better not let them get the 1 seed.
Oh, God.
That place will go upside down if they get
Will they know what to do, those fans, if they get the 1 seed?
That place will be burned to the ground.
The Lions' only loss this year was in overtime to Seattle, and what was a very crazy. They could easily have been unbeaten. We've been talking a lot more about them.
I'm not going to overreact to what happened with Philly last night, though.
Okay.
They're still my class of the NFC, and that's because Dan mentioned the mentality of Jalen Hurts and how that just sort of trickles down to the entire team. My best team in the NFC still, even after that loss, it's early. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. They'll be there in the end.
Yeah.
This team will turn it around.
Cindy, put them up there if you will. There are the best teams in the NFC. Dan and Rex, both with the 49ers, Tedy with the Eagles, and I've got the Jets. They said to me it was the best team. I said the Jets. They said, in the NFC, I said, sure. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me. There's no question you can ask me today that the answer is not going to be the Jets. But if you forced me to pick an NFC team, I will take the Lions. I'm sold. I'm all in. I'm all in on the coach. I'm all in on the quarterback. They played that game without their running backs. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs hasn't even done anything this year. Thanks a lot. He was on my fantasy team. But, I mean, he's going to be spectacular when he gets going. Jamison Williams made an unbelievable catch yesterday. We're selling short the Lions.
Jamison Williams, that name is a big deal just because the speed that he brings. I think the thing that is so shocking about Detroit when it comes to how good Philly and good San Francisco is you can bank on, 1, them being just as good at the line of scrimmage, and 2, them being just as well coached.
And they're frustrating to watch defensively. Frustrating meaning having to go up against because Goff is so good at play action.
Yes.
And then we throw in these gadget plays that they're becoming good at. And it's an offense that can hit you in a lot of different ways. And they have that physical aspect because of the offensive line.
Ben Johnson, in many ways, is like he's our next Kyle Shanahan. He's our next Andy Reid when it comes to that creativity.